My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Summers, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can all see me here in deepest, darkest Portugal, and I hope you appreciate that little match joke. Of course, there have been some matches today, but not as many on the Iberian Peninsula would have liked, due to a blackout across the peninsula that basically brought play to a halt in Madrid, a complete halt. And it will be the case until at least tomorrow. We'll get into some of that shortly. Estoril was also interrupted, the 175 here, albeit that it was only interrupted for a couple of hours. Where the heck is DK? That is a wonderful question, Jake. I can give you a live update, or I can give you a few updates on Mr. Kust, but we'll do so as I go through the day. He will appear at various points in terms of updates and to say where he was and what he's doing. I'll give you all that information shortly. But let's talk about how the day panned out, because at around about 11 o'clock, I arrived in Estoril at the location where the 175 should be taking place. And I was very lucky that actually just by chance I ran into some practice, which was João Fonseca and Nuno Borges. As I focused in on that, and I could see João getting more and more frustrated with his level in the practice, but we'll come to that as well very shortly. And then, of course, I had a great deal of enjoyment and mirth and laughing at the Madrid Open as it went dark and there were issues going on there. Little did I realize that it was soon going to affect us in Estoril, where play was halted, as I say, for a couple of hours, but we got back on track, unlike those in Madrid, where eventually play was ultimately brought to a complete halt whilst we got things restarted a couple of hours later. So the Portuguese tennis authorities and the Estoril Open can be very happy with their day's work, bearing in mind how they got things back on track, and Madrid wasn't able to. There was also more good news for Portuguese tennis, as Francisco Rosca saved 2 match points to defeat top qualifying seed Bebit Zhukayev 6-4, 1-6, 7-6. So I repeat, 2 match points to snuff out, to extinguish, dare I say, the chances of Bebit Zhukayev. Indeed, Estoril over Madrid without a doubt. But Rocha was arguably eclipsed, and yes, I am using as many puns as I possibly can, by Tiago Pereira, who came back from a set and a break down in the third and saved and needed 7 match points in the end to ultimately get over the hill against Patrick Zaya. As the lights went out, by the way, on the former semi-finalist here in Estoril, Marco Cecinato's Estoril campaign in the first round of qualifying. Hi, Connor, I can see you in the chat along with Jake and Ashley and many others. But let's go back to Madrid, where the lights went out on Belinda Bencic's campaign in the Spanish capital, going down 6-4, 6-2 to Coco Gauff, who will face Mira Andreeva in a mouth-watering quarterfinal, which should, I think we can all agree, be electric in Madrid. Anyway, yes, Damien Kust. Many of you asking, where is Damien? In fact, there it is, Jake's comment. Where indeed is Damien? Well, his flight got rerouted to Porto, but I can give you an update, and apparently he should be arriving by bus in Lisbon very soon, and ultimately in Cascais, which is a neighboring town of Estoril. Okay, I saw that the Portuguese government's website went down as well, so all fun and games here. All, of course, mostly first world problems for most of the tennis world, but as I say, Estoril was able to get back on track, and I've basically kept you up to date with everything. But in Madrid, I think there were 2 or 3 matches completed. I think Dimitrov may have been serving for the match against Fernley. He was up a set anyway on the Brit. Arnaldi knocking out Jamur, and already I've mentioned how on the women's side we had one result in the form of Bencic being knocked out by Coco Gauff. Oh, we had 2 results. Mira Andreeva as well, overcoming the Ukrainian Stara Tupseva 6-1, 6-4. And it does mean, of course, the program tomorrow will be pretty heavy. We'll get into some of those matches shortly. Tiafo up against Muller. Let's see if I can share the order of play for tomorrow actually on the screen with you, so you don't get to see my huge head here on the screen. By the way, do make sure you hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Connor, by the way, who I saw in the chat a minute ago, he is in Madrid. So make sure you give him a follow on all the social medias. Connor Joyce, that is, for the First Serve, who are also there present in Madrid. And they've been keeping us up to date with the proceedings there, although most of them have been away from the court. Yes, so here we go. Tomorrow's order. I think, of course, some of these would have been today. I think Iga and Schneider should have been today, but has been postponed until tomorrow. We've already done a full preview for that. Make sure you check out that on the channel. Dimitrov, Fernley, as I say, they've got to finish things off. Tsitsipas, Musetti, Zverev, Sorundolo. Zverev, by the way, that quarter that he was in, very, very difficult. And he's got another tricky, of course, he overcame David Fokina in 3 sets, which probably got overshadowed. There we go. There's another pun for you, and that was not intentional. By the line call debate. With the ball clearly going out, but ultimately being called in because of the electronic line calling they have there. No electronic line calling in Estoril. I don't know whether that impacted the fact that we could get things back on track a bit earlier here than they could in Madrid. But of course, they will, of course, have electronic line calling back next year when it becomes a 250. And I think there may even be, funnily enough, I've heard the word on the streets, there might even be a ceremony for line judges here to say goodbye to them in Estoril. Another funny anecdote as well I heard on the grapevine is that Tommy Paul asked for a wild card in the off chance that he lost to, or in the chance that he lost to João Fonseca, as it was João Fonseca ended up entering the draw because he lost to Tommy Paul. One more thing on João, actually, before we move on from Estoril. Yeah, I watched his practice with Nuno Borges, and he did cut a pretty frustrated figure, both with his level and also a shoulder issue, which needed some attention. He then actually came back, though, to the practice court to continue after getting that taped up. And in fact, even after Nuno left the court, he decided to stay on and continue to practice on his own or with his coach doing some drills. So I can tell you now, he wasn't particularly happy with his level after, I think him and Nuno played a few practice games. It seemed to be on serve, but that's not too much of a scientific thing. I did miss a couple of points, so he may even have been down, which would have explained his glum mood. Yeah, Tsitsipas Musetti tomorrow. Any thoughts on that? I'll come to the live chat as well right now. I see Keen. John, I have 2 players that would make great interviews. Good. That's good to know. I'll do what I can, but I doubt we'll get any one-to-ones in Estoril, bearing in mind I know how it plays out We'll probably get plenty of mix zone stuff, though, so we can't complain. The Fonseca hype in Tommy's head, huh? Indeed. Musetti in 3. Well, let's have a look at that, actually, right now. So, Musetti, Tsitsipas. I'm going to bring up their head-to-head as well for you. I think it's a tricky one. 5-1 in Stefanos's favor, by the way, is the head-to-head. But Lorenzo did win the most recent match that they had, which, of course, came in Monte Carlo, a 3-set affair where Musetti lost the first set 6-1, as is his wont, but came back to win 1-6, 6-3, 6-4 in the Principality. Their previous 5 encounters all going the way of Stefanos. And, yeah, 5 of their 6 encounters have all been on clay. So... yeah, it's tricky. Stefanos is a bit hit and miss this year. I got over the 500 slump, but he's back in a slump as well as his ranking slips. Lorenzo, I would suggest, is an upward trajectory. The conditions in Madrid, it's difficult to suggest that they would favor either player heavily. Stefanos' big serve will get a bit more pop, I would suggest, in the altitude there. Oh, which way am I going? Stefanos looking pretty good. Yeah, let's go Stefanos in 3. Zverev Cerundolo, I'll also go Zverev in 3. Of course, they played each other recently in Argentina, but Zverev is my tip for the title, so I will stick with him. I'll also go for a 3-setter with Sabalenka and Stearns. Sabalenka is my tip for title on the women's side, and I see no reason to change my mind there. Again, she loves it in the Spanish capital. A multiple finalist there, and I see her beating Payton, but it may well be in 3 sets. 2. Casper, Taylor Fritz. Didn't they play the French Open maybe last year? Let's have a quick look at that. Ruud versus Fritz head-to-head. I'll come to the live chat as well in a few seconds. Let me know your thoughts on some of the matches I've just highlighted. 2-1 is the head-to-head advantage for Casper. Yeah, Casper Ruud won the match in 4 sets at Roland Garros last year. And they also played at the Nitto ATP Finals in 2022, with Casper winning that one 7-6 in the 3rd. Their other match came last year at the US Open. Yeah, I remember that. Casper looking in really good shape at the beginning of that match, but ultimately Taylor prevailed in 4. I will go for a Casper Ruud there win. But some of these really are quite exciting because I think it'll be another 3-setter. Yes, Matthew also thinking that Steph will get revenge. How far are we from Lisbon? About 25 kilometers. Do get your questions in. If I'll try and answer them if you have any sort of outage blackout queries. I'll do what I can. It's not an area of expertise for me, but I can certainly tell you how things have been today. As I say, the Portuguese government's website going down at 7:30 this evening of all times. Of course, there was a 5G outage as well, so there was lots of times today when we didn't have any internet at all. And yet mysteriously Wi-Fi would occasionally come on at the venue. As I say, I think they had some sort of generator backing things up in Estoril that clearly was nowhere near powerful enough in Madrid. Weird day of tennis, says Dave. Indeed. El Damien Custard, yeah. But as I say, I thought he was in big trouble and would have to stay in Porto, maybe hang around there for another 3 or 4 months for the Challenger. There is a rumor as well that he went up to 2 hours without tweeting about Challengers today as well. So given how bad things got. DK deliberately arriving late so Silky can roll out the red carpet for him. Very good. I like it. You may have some recency bias in back, and we said, yeah, but I get it. It's a difficult one to call. Yeah, it was a big surprise, but Portugal and all that, so who knows? Steph will get revenge. Yeah, I think I've got Steph winning it, Matthew, too. We've already done a preview for Iga and her match tomorrow against Schneider, so do check out our preview for that. I'm just going to send a message to Brenna. Join if you want. I hope you can all hear me okay, by the way. It's a lot of street noise, let's call it here. That's a nice one as well. I heard Donald Trump actually had Damien deported. Bad luck there indeed. I don't know if he's got that sort of power over Portugal. But by the way, I do remember an encounter between him and a former Portuguese leader at the White House in his first term. And yeah, Trump seemed to hold all the cards there, as he often does. Okay, Keen. That's a good question, actually. A good point about the crowds in Estoril. So it did come to a point at about 4:30 where I guess either a local or federal government decision was made to just basically tell everyone to go home. The media, I believe, were allowed to stay, but I panicked and thought I want to get home as well. So unlike Jose Morgado and a few others media people who did stay on. Plus, I wasn't super excited by the Portuguese encounters. I actually saw the first set or bits of the first set, I should say, from one of them. And I thought the level wasn't super high. It wasn't the Rocha one. It was the other one. I can see Connor as well. His Twitter feed, which has been a lot of fun today. Do check him out. Connor Joyce B is his X or Twitter handle. Yeah, sorry, the level in one of the qualifying matches today with Cecchinato going out. Yeah, Tiago winning that first set 7-5. Thiago Pereira over Patrick Zadic. I thought in the warm-up, by the way, I thought both looked really, particularly the German looked a bit off it. And then the German goes down a break. So I thought, okay, that's the first set and probably the match done. But as it turned out, the first set got a bit tighter again when the German broke back. Ultimately, Thiago getting over the line in that first set 7-5. But yeah, needed 7 match points as it turned out in the end to get over the line. We'll come to the Estoril lineup tomorrow as well. And by the way, if Damien arrives at any point, let me just send Damien a WhatsApp. Might get even more of an update from him. Just telling him I'm live. Just telling Damien where I am because he might be going to the apartment. This makes great live coverage, I'm sure. Okay. Anyway, back to Madrid tomorrow. Yeah, so anyway, it was a bit weird, but that's that. So yeah, any more questions about the outage, I'll do what I can to respond. Okay, so De Minaur Chapeau. I'm going De Minaur in straights. Madison Keys, Donovekic. Let's go Keys in 3. Svitolina Sakari. Let's go Svitolina in 3. Sakari, by the way, of course, overcoming in straights. It's Jasmine Paolini yesterday. But Paolini has taken to social media to say she was feeling a bit rough these last couple of days, but full speed ahead for Rome. She's feeling better and looking forward to a tournament in her homeland. Cool. Let me see if he's in the Uber. Let's see. Okay, back to tomorrow's order of play. Svitolina, yeah, I've already said that one. So Medvedev Nakashima. That's a nice draw for Medi, by the way. It's a nice section of the draw that he's in. I'll go Medvedev in straights. Kostyuk, I can see overcoming Potapova in 3. Hachinov, Tommy Paul. That's one that should have been today as well. We've done a full preview for that as well. Make sure you check that out on the channel. I'll go Tommy Paul there in 3. Jakub Mensik, Alexander Bublik. Yeah, Bublik, of course, upsetting Rublev. Mensik coming through in straight sets against Shelton. I think a lot of people would have thought that would be tougher than it turned out. But yeah, let's go Mensik in 3 sets. Draper Berrettini in 3 for me, but I do think there's some question marks over Berrettini's fitness, and then some doubles action as well. On court 4, Tiafoe against Muller. Let's go Muller in 3. Oh, that's a nice draw as well for Cam Norrie. But I'm going to go for Diallo to upset the Brit. Let's go for Diallo in 3. A lot of tight ones for me tomorrow. A lot of 3-setters potentially. So it could be a long day in Madrid, which is probably not what they need, bearing in mind the fact that I need to catch up on a bit of action. Yeah, shall we open up the draw? I'm going to bring myself onto the big screen. I'll come back to the live chat as well. No, let's not remove me. Let's remove that. So therefore, I'm on the big screen. I'll then bring up the draw and maybe have a look at the day after's matches that we may or may not know. And who knows, Damien may even join live, and maybe Brenna too. Anyway. Yes, let's have a look at the draw to see if there's any matches. Well, of course, we've got Goff against Andreeva. I think Andreeva's got to be favourite in that one, right? For me, maybe even may even be a straight sets one. Let's have a quick look at the Goff Andreeva head to head. 2-0 in the favour of Coco. Okay. It's interesting. But no, I still make Andreeva the firm favourite. I mean, Coco, since the Australian Open, her form has been questionable to say the least. All right, let's have a look at the live chat, which I've neglected in recent times. Yes, I did, Keen. Yeah. But I wasn't overly impressed. Sorry, Zaraj. Draper is your guy to win the tournament. Fingers crossed. I mean, I can see it. I can see it. And I can see why. Big serve, Madrid, altitude, lefty, top spin. Yeah, I can see it. I'm not down on it, despite the fact I've gone for Berrettini. Maybe that was heart over head. If Brenner joins, then the beers are definitely being open. Let's see if Brenner does join. I have sent him a WhatsApp. Damien is still awaiting his Uber in. Let me get some updates. Hang on a second. Yep, Damien is still in Lisbon, so he is stuck there. But at least he's 200 or 300 kilometers closer than he was when he landed in Porto. He was cutting a rather frustrated figure, much like some of the tennis players were across the Iberian Peninsula today. I know nothing about what's been going on at the Challenger in France, by the way, the 175 there. So do let me know some of the exciting things that have been going on there, because I have no idea. I'm guessing they weren't disrupted at all. By the way, water, sip. Oh, also, if you're watching this right now, but you didn't see my very witty beginning to the show, do tune into that. And I don't just mean the puns. I also mean the matches. Right. This would be Draper's first 1,000. No, he won Indian Wells. So, yeah. And it was just a couple of months ago. Bat signal sent out to Brenner. The Joker is on the loose indeed. Very good. I like it. Yeah, just got to be careful here because we're live, aren't we? Okay, Peyton Stern's playing great. She's my dark horse, says Ghosty. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm on that board with that one. Bublik isn't malicious enough to be the Joker. I'm thinking Mute. Yeah, I'm not sure either are that malicious. Not sure I'd use that word, but I know where you're coming from, Ghosty. Stearns dumped that Sakui coach. No, he was questionable at best. Yeah, but or did he walk away? I think he walked away. Tom Hill, and now he's back with Sakui, by the way. So, yeah. I don't quite know what went on there, but I think Stearns was a bit, taken aback by his departure, let's say. But who knows what went on behind closed doors there. Kostyuk Potapova, I'll give you my thoughts on that shortly. And I know what happened to Shelton illness. Oh, really? I'm not aware of that. That's news to me. But yeah, round one matches are too low key for Damien Kuss these days. He'll stroll up for the quarterfinals, big time, Damien. I'd love him to be in an Uber right now, but I don't think he is quite, because if he was, I'd love him to join the stream. But yeah. Anyway, all right, that's up to date with the live chat. I don't know what else we might be missing from the world of tennis today, if anything. I could, of course, look forward to some of the matches in Estoril tomorrow. I want to have a quick look at the draw in Madrid. Let me just have a look at that. Madrid Open draw. You have to bear with me on this one because it was a bit of a spontaneous show. Here we go. Let's get that one up. So, am I right in that Zverev Surundalo is tomorrow, Jakub Mensik Bublik is tomorrow, Fritz Ruud is tomorrow, Medvedev Nakashima is tomorrow, Draper Berrettini is tomorrow, Hachinov Paul is tomorrow, Tiafoe Arnaldi is through, so he is awaiting the winner of Tiafoe and Muller. So he's having a day off tomorrow, right? At least I've got that right. He's already through because he got his match over and done with today. 6-3, 6-4 over Jamur. This section, by the way, is not bad. This Draper, yeah, I can see why you're fancying Draper. He's got to get past Berrettini, but yeah, that's not a bad section for the Brit. Wow. So Norrie, Diallo, Fernley, Dimitrov, Tsitsipas, Musetti, Diminor, Chapeau. One of those is in the semis, am I right? And then another one from Draper, Berrettini, Hachinov, Paul, Tiafoe, Muller, Jamur, Arnaldi is in the semis. And then another one from Medvedev, Nakashima, Fritz, Ruud is in the semis. Well, Ruud might have his best run in the Spanish capital. He's obviously a clay court specialist, but I wonder if Ruud's sort of scheduling has been more of a sort of build-up crescendo, sort of maybe not quite peaking in Monte Carlo and Barcelona as he has done in previous years, and really trying to make sure that he's peaking more in Madrid, Rome, and then the French Open. Rome, he's never been to the final, of course, and he probably should have been, really. I mean, French Open, Rome, pretty similar, and he's obviously done very well in Roland Garros. It's understandable where he's never been to the final in Madrid. I don't think he's been at the semis in Madrid either. Anyway, Mensik Bublik as well in this section. I will come to the Kostyuk question shortly. In fact, I can switch over to the women's now because I think I've discussed the men's enough. Yeah, it was Kostyuk Potapova. Oh, yeah, what a win for Uchijima, by the way, over Pegula. I think Pegula's sort of... There's a weird thing going on in women's tennis right now. You've got one player that is just playing unbelievably well, getting to 5 finals this year, winning 2 tournaments, 3 times runner-up, 5-time finalist in the form of Arina Sabalenka, who is streets ahead of everyone else, and the ranking shows it in the points differential that she has over the rest. And that is fine. And she's at the top of the tree. And then everyone from sort of 2 downwards to about 5 in the rankings. Let's have a look at WTA rankings. It's just struggling for form, and they're all sort of reversing into progression up the rankings. And I include Jessica Pegula. I know she won a title earlier on this year, a 250, I think it was, or 500 that had just been promoted from a 250 on the eve of Indian Wells. But Swiatek, tell me which one of these this year is having a good year. Swiatek, Pegula, Goff, Qinwen Zheng, Emma Navarro. These are all players in the top 10, none of which have had a good year, and some of which are in lofty positions such as 3 and 4. Madison Keys, of course, has had a phenomenal year. In fact, she's had a phenomenal career now. She's got over the line in Australia. But since Australia, she struggled a bit. I mean, I know she was on an unbeaten run, but obviously when that blew up against Sabalenka at Indian Wells, it's been a bit of a struggle for her, although I know she's not played a huge amount of tennis. Jasmine Paolini, yeah, she did well in Miami, but yeah, it's been a struggle. And of course, in Madrid as well, where she went down in straight sets to Maria Sakkari. I think she won 3 games, albeit illness hit. And Qinwen Zheng has had a really injury hit year. Would you say that Badosa has had a great year? She's done quietly well, and she has crept into the top 10 as a result. It's only Mira Andreeva, really, that is setting the world alight, aside from Marina Sabalenka in that top 10. If anyone could, just string a few wins together, they would be probably number 2 in the world, or certainly number 3 in the world. But most of them are struggling for form in one way, shape, or form. And yeah, Pegula went down in straight sets to the Japanese, and yeah, she is through. Let's see what Brenner is saying. No worries, Brenner. Don't worry. was spontaneous anyway. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But I do want to come back to the Madrid draw. Kostyuk, Potapova head-to-head. Let's have a look at that. I do let me know in the live chat what you're thinking, and maybe you disagree with some of the things I'm saying, and I'll come to that in a second. Of course, the WTA website doesn't have it easily at hand, that head-to-head, but I have got it elsewhere. And the head-to-head is 4-1 in the favor of Potapova, interestingly. The reason I've gone for Kostyuk, though, is just her clay court prowess. I want to see where these matches came and when. Let's see. I'm actually going to probably have to lean on the WTA website, which is going to take me forever and a day. Probably the lights will go out again in the meantime. Oh, dearie me. Okay, here we go. No, I want to know their head-to-head. I mean, I know their head-to-head, but I want to know where these matches... So I had 3-1. Okay, so it seemed to be 2-1. My bad. 2-1 for Potapova. Here they are. I'm going to share that with you on the screen. At the stage. Yeah, Potapova there. Kostyuk winning the most recent one in Indian Wells. A very clay court-esque, stodgy sort of conditions there. But the wins in Birmingham, Miami, much quicker conditions going the way of Potapova. Yeah, so I'm going Kostyuk in 3. So that was in response to somebody earlier was asking about it was Jaeger. Yeah, Kostyuk, Potapova, what's my take? That's my take. I'm going for Kostyuk to level things up in terms of the head-to-head to each, but it's purely because it's clay. Goff versus Andreeva. I'm going for an Andreeva win, but I think it'll be close. I remember, by the way, Coco Gauff in 2023 in Madrid. Remember that match she had with Badosa. Badosa, by the way, of course, has had an injury hit year. I mean, somehow she's in the top 10, and that's not having a go at the Spanish. She is quietly doing okay, but I'm kind of more saying that there's just very few players in the upper echelons of women's tennis that are stringing anything together, other than if their name is Mida or Arena. Okay. Going to go back to that Madrid draw, but on the women's side. So, Sabalenka Stearns, I've already spoken about that one. I don't think I spoke about Ushijima Alexandrova, but I am going the way of Alexandrova in that one. And yes, Vitalina Sakkari, I think I've already spoken about. And we've got, of course, Coco Gauff already through. And there is one other already through. Of course, it's Mira Andreeva. Yes, who's going to be playing Coco. Yeah, Mira Andreeva up against Coco. I think that's Madrid done in pretty much as exhaustive as I possibly could have done. Lovely to see some people on Instagram. By the way, do check us out on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT, and do give us a follow on X or Twitter at Talking Tennis TT as well. Like to be consistent. And of course, if you are watching on YouTube as we speak, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Yeah. Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm going to come to the live chat. Yeah, do get your predictions in for some of these matches, in particular Coco Gauff and Andreeva. Andreeva over Coco, sorry to say. Yeah, I can see where that's coming from. And it's form. Yeah, I don't think there was any illness as far as Ben is concerned. Mensik, I think, was just playing out of his mind. Indeed. I like it. Where on earth is Nerland, by the way, today? Look at me making a huge effort to do this live stream, and got some ridiculous sunglasses as well for the cheeky Nerland. But he's not here to appreciate it. Am I too naive thinking Fernley could beat Grigor? No, I don't think you are. I would. I think Grigor isn't Grigor serving for that one. Someone let me know in the live chat if I'm right on that one. I know it's one set and 5-4 to Grigor Dimitrov in that particular encounter. Svitolina beat Sakari surely. Yeah, but maybe she's feeling good again. I mean, a lot of things with Maria is very mental. Let's see if Damien's even in the Uber. Okay. Anyway, good point, Silky. I'm not sure what that's referring to, but fingers crossed. Pegula on clay, though. Yeah, exactly. Especially non-American clay, real European clay. Madrid is kind of a bit better for her, but in general, probably needs to get on the grass. What are you enjoying more as a product at the moment, ATP or WTA, or not much in it? Oh, WTA, I think. I think WTA probably for the last 2 years, generally. It's a bit more wild. It's a bit more unpredictable. Loads of narratives, loads of rivalries, loads of fun, loads of unpredictability, but also some really high quality tennis. Sometimes with Wild West unpredictability, you get, maybe the quality suffers. But I don't think it has. I think we still had some epics and drama. I mean, just think about some of these huge matches in the last couple of years. The Iga and Arena battles in Madrid of 23 and 24. The Australian Open final this year between Madison Keys and Arena Sabalenka. The Australian Open final of 23 between Sabalenka and Rybakina. The Coco Gauff Sabalenka final the same year. The semi-final between at Wimbledon last year between Vekic and Paolini, and even the Wimbledon final last year between Paolini and Krejcikova. Yeah, I mean, French Open final 23 between Mukova and Swiatek, the semi-final the same year between Mukova and Sabalenka. Need I go on? I mean, these are all... I'm going for the huge ones. I know there's other matches, such as Peyton Stearns against Sabalenka in Indian Wells last year and a bunch of others from early rounds. But I'm thinking huge encounters at the absolute top of women's tennis in the finals and semi-finals of 1000s and yeah, and I'm probably missing a bunch and slams. On the men's side, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Cincinnati 23, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Wimbledon 23. Anything else? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Badossa's hurt her back again. In fact, she was practicing in Madrid about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I mean, she was there long before the tournament was even close to getting underway. And yet, yeah, obviously she wasn't able to take part. And it's the back again, which initially I think sort of flared up in the summer of 23 or the clay court season of 23. I remember seeing her keeled over in the flower bed with a back issue against Ostapenko in Madrid. In that particular, in Rome it was, in that particular encounter, and it's been an on-off thing for her ever since. Yeah, and I think if she could just avoid, I mean, I think she's in a section where I think she could be playing Iga in Madrid. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me have a quick look at their section. So, where are you, Madison Keys? I think that she's on a collision course with Iga, maybe in the quarters. No, yeah, in the quarters. So Vekic Keys, the winner of that, plays the winner of Schneider against Swiatek. And that's a round of 16 clash. So, yeah, quarterfinals. So, yeah, on clay, it's not been great for Madison against Iga. And, of course, remember her saying to me in Strasbourg last year, what is it like to play Iga on clay? And Madison said, it sucks. It sucks. Indeed. Hopefully she doesn't opt for surgery. Yeah, I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. Cool Nerlan, this is his time to shine as a TT host. I think it is, especially bearing in mind all the funny things that have been going down in the Iberian Peninsula today. Oh, Jake, you know what? I haven't even had dinner yet. I had a super late lunch. And yeah, I was contemplating it before we went live, but then I was like, do I have to go live with indigestion? Do you want to see me, eating dinner whilst live? That can provide a nice little bit of a vibe. But I always think that maybe a full-on dinner live is a bit too much. I think the sort of coffee and cake vibe is okay, but or even something else, but not maybe a full-on dinner. So we'll see. I'll probably get something very unhealthy. It's gone 11:30 here at night. Oh yes, I did see that frame, Ace. That was very, very funny. Let me just see. Okay, Damien seems to have his phone maybe off or his battery's gone. So we'll see. We'll see. I may even sort of walk to the apartment from where I am and then may even stay live during that. Ostapenko has had a good year, John. Yes, she has, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, obviously, largely made by getting to the final of a 1,000 and her win in Stuttgart. But if you're talking about the fact that I was sort of critical of the consistency of the top 10, Ostapenko is not in that top 10. Aglio olio with chicken. So that's sort of a very, I love it, but it's very garlicky, isn't it? And so to have it for early on in the day for you, Dave, I'm guessing I guess it's sort of early or late afternoon where you are. So that's my only concern there. Hi, Sally. I think I've talked about Vekic and Keys. I am going the way of Madison to set up an encounter with Iga. Of course, they played each other at the Australian Open this year. I'm talking about Keys and Iga, where Keys had to save a match point. I think I'm right. I mean, that's another match that I probably missed in terms of the women. Yeah. Penko as Joker is great. Framed Ace, yeah, that was very funny. Yeah, me too. I love it too. Nice shades. Thanks, Ghosty. Yeah. Not sure how effective they are, though. Could barely see in them, which has been very much the theme of the day in both Portugal and Spain. Yeah, great stories too. I mean, I'm not even getting close to the sort of stories that we've had, such as Ayala. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not. It was just easier for me off the top of my head to go through some of the finals in the last couple of years. Yeah, as far as I know, thanks, Manny, for your question. Do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. To the best of my knowledge, yes. Do tweet me and whatever if I've got this wrong. But yeah, I mean, power seems to have returned for large parts of Spain. And I must say, by 7-8 o'clock, I was getting word of the fact that it returned to 20% of Spain. Funny enough, at the same time as they went for a state of emergency, which felt like it might have been a bit late in the day. But yeah, and then I did a sort of very witty, or I thought was a very witty film, as the sun went down here in Cascais, in neighboring Estoril. I did a little film saying lights are going out, see you in a few hours. And actually, within minutes, the lights came back on. First of all, I think I saw some go on in someone's house. I was going for a jog at the time. And then I saw some street lights go on. And yeah, and then there were the tweets from Madrid of people celebrating as if they'd won the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know where Swarner is, by the way. Yeah. Any other comments I can get to? Yeah, may well have done. Nerland does get on a few people's nerves, I believe. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll bring this stream to an end. I would like to speak to Damien about some of the matches coming up in Estoril in the next 48 hours. Jamie Furrier is playing. He's had a few injury issues of late. It was wrist last year, and I think he did take that into this year, but it actually ended up being a foot injury that kept him out of Miami and the beginning of the clay court season. He could have played Madrid, but it was touch and go. I think Madrid would have suited him, actually, especially with his serve. But I think, obviously, Estoril second week of Madrid was pretty exciting for him and all the Portuguese players, of course. So he is going to be playing. And actually, if he wins his first round match, which is against a qualifier, There's still some qualifiers that need to have completed, by the way. There's more qualifiers coming up tomorrow in Estoril. Some first round matches too. If he wins his first round and João Fonseca wins his first round against Jesper de Jong, then they will be on a collision course. Okay, Damien's received my WhatsApp, which is something. Cool. You're watching Rocha play now. You mean Francisco? You're watching the match again? Oh, hi, State of Sport. Great to see you here. Wait, John, how did you get to stream here? Lol, is it finally on? Yes, things are back. Things seem to be back. Do check out State of Sport, by the way, both their YouTube channel and Twitter and wherever else they are. I think they're on Instagram as well. Lots of challenger fun coming from State of Sport. I think you're somewhere in Asia, right? Am I right? So that's probably why you may well be waking up to the news that the electric is back across the Iberian Peninsula. As the day the lights went out on tennis, live from Deepest Darkest Portugal. Normally it's Deepest Darkest Poland, where Mr. Kust is. But rumor has it that he's going to be here before midnight, and that is in 15 minutes. All right. Cool. So I'm going to have a quick look at actually, let me know in the live chat what's been going on in the 175 Challenger in France, because I have absolutely no idea. I've been all over things going on in Estoril and to a lesser extent Madrid. Is it Aix-en-Provence? Am I saying that right? Aix-en-Provence. I'd like to know what some of the results have been there today, because I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to have a look now today. Oh, Emery won. Okay. Emery won today. Any others that are jumping out at me? Lahal pushed to 3 sets, but did come through against Chazal. Okay. And there's a few people in the live chat fans of his. Ramos Vinolas has opted to play there rather than here in Portugal. And Benoit Paire winning a 3-setter today. Benoit Paire needing a wild card just to make qualifying there. Ouch. So those are the sort of headlines from Aix-en-Provence. Get your thoughts in the live chat as well about any of the challenger action. Isn't Power back on in Spain, though? Why is Portugal taking... No, Power is back on here. I've sort of just thought this would be nice. Even though it's a bit dark, what I've got behind me, I thought it'd be a nice vibe. It also meant I could light a match at the beginning and give it some amusement, I guess is the word. Yep, Power's pretty much back on, and I think we'll be full speed ahead tomorrow for all the matches to take place, both in Spain and Portugal. I don't think things were affected in France in the end, so that's all good. What? Really? Came back from 4-6-1-5? That's wild. Especially Benoit, who's not exactly known for digging deep. Wow, that is wild if he had to come back from 4-6-1-5. All right. Okay, anything else? Maybe I'll go back to Estoril. Estoril Open website. Let's have a look, see how up to date they are in terms of stuff going on. Of course, Felix Auger-Aliassime. Oh, I was at the sort of exhibition event on Sunday. Pedro Martinez won it. Last year's finalist. Yeah, I think he's got a decent chance. Let's have a look at the draw. And that might help me make some conclusions, because I haven't really predicted a winner as yet. Let's have a look. Oh, that's last year. I saw Casper Ruud now. I was like, wow. 2024, 2023. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here's the draw. Let's share it with you on the screen. This is Estoril. Can you see that? I saw Lajovic practicing. Oh, I need to share it on the screen. Sorry. Yeah. So that was a super shootout. It was a sort of super tie break that all I think 8 players were involved. Felix was involved. Jaime Faria was involved. Enrique Rocha was involved. Felix Auger-Aliassime. Felix made the final, and he lost that to who did I mention earlier? To Pedro Martinez. All right, here's the draw. So Mickelson, I saw him practicing today, practicing serves. Not sure I fancy his chances though here. I saw Hanfman practice as well today. He'll have to play a qualifier. Not big on Hanfman right now either. Kovacevic against Nardi. Pedro Martinez. Oh, Dugas Aziz, yes. Or Aziz Dugas. He has pulled out with an injury. So I think it's a wrist injury, or if I'm right, with Aziz. So that's a pity. He, of course, made a final in the Ivory Coast in a challenger, but maybe his... Oh, I think I see Damien. I think I see Damien. It's quite funny, actually, because he's wearing the same hoodie that I saw him wear a couple of years ago. I'm live, Damien, by the way. You stressed?
Stressed? I mean, at this point, not really stressed.
Tired?
Yeah, 20 hours, I think, on the road, right?
Do you want to put your face on the stream, or?
If I have to. I mean,
There you go. Look,
it's kind of the last thing I want to do right now, but I mean...
We're looking at the Estoril draw. Which, I don't know, it's all right. It's all right. Jaime Faria against Zhao, if they both win their first rounds.
Fonseca should win the title. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
really know who else.
I'm telling you now.
Nuno as well.
He's not winning it. Zhao's not winning it. Pedro Martinez.
Oh, could be.
It's a nice draw. Aziz Dugas has pulled out.
He pulled out, yeah.
So yeah, let me just bring the draw up.
I mean, Nuno is also a factor, I guess.
Nuno and Zhao practiced together today, and Zhao was not happy. Let me tell you that. Nicholas Zhao, it's about time he won a few matches.
No. Ethan Quinn making the semis and securing the USTA wildcard. No, probably not.
He won't beat Lajovic, will he? He won't beat Lajovic, will he?
He beat Lajovic last week in Madrid. Different conditions, though.
Teen, I don't fancy his chances, but maybe first round might not be too bad. Xiao Rocha. I mean, Xiao is so down in the dumps right now, but normally I would pick Nicholas.
Yeah, I mean, he can lose to anybody. He can beat anybody. 5 matches in a row? No, but 1. Why not?
Oh, Moreno de Albaran is playing.
Yeah, finally. I mean, he's played like, what, 1-2 matches this season?
Didn't we see, was it Porto where we met him?
Moreno de Albaran? No, you met him later in Braga or Lisbon. Braga?
I didn't go to Braga.
That Lisbon, like the clay one.
That was in Porto as well, no?
Oh, that's also Porto. No, not the one that Andreev won. The one in...
Maybe I didn't go. Maybe I've never met him.
No, you did. What
was Alicante, the one in Spain where me and you were there.
No. Not the... We didn't do it together. You were there, and it was Seville, I guess.
Ah, that's where I met him. Yeah, during the US Open. Yeah.
Definitely clay challenger in this part of the world. The part of the world affected by the effing blackout.
How was your day then in terms of the blackout?
Honestly, I mean, tragic. We didn't really learn about it until like we were very close to Lisbon already. And they just tell us that because of an electrical failure at the Lisbon airport, we are going to be landing in Porto. So that seemed fine. Like that seemed totally okay. Whereas there were 2 Porto challengers. So one was in hard, one was in clay. So yeah, that was fine. I was just like, okay, yeah, that's shitty, but I'm gonna just take a bus. It's gonna be or a train or whatever. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, we arrived at the airport, and there were supposed to be like some staff meeting us there. Nobody was there. All the airport was like, they only had like some small lights, clearly from a backup generator or something like that. And then the airline basically said that, okay, we're going to give you coaches. And then in 10 minutes, they say, no, sorry, we can't organize it. I decided, okay, so I'm going to try a metro, go to the train station. Metro isn't working. Then I also learned that the trains aren't working. To get to the bus, I mean, it was like a queue of 3 hours maybe. And I still had a lot of luck today, actually, which is insane because I spent 20 hours on the road, but I was still very lucky. Like, internet came back for like 10 minutes, which was good enough for me to order an Uber from where a bus took me to the bus station. And then I made the bus by like, I don't know, 5 minutes. It literally left 5 minutes after I came. And the guy also let me in without a ticket, like 8 of us Poles, because we kind of combined into a group. And he just let us in without any charge. So it could have gone much, much, much worse.
Well, there you go. Damien's 20 hours in 2 minutes. All right, I'm going to bring this stream to an end. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Also, go back to the beginning of the show where I did talk about the blackout for the first 5 or 10 minutes and also the effect it had on tennis. And yeah, we'll see you all soon. We'll bring you plenty of... I can now upload my Jaime Fonseca recordings that I made at about 11 o'clock this morning, but I haven't had a chance to do so because of a lack of internet and electricity.
Jaime Fonseca, was it already for the second round?
Did I say Jaime
Yeah,
Fonseca? There, I got Jaime on the brain. All right, well, anyway, as I said, this is bringing the stream.
What is a PITA, by the way?
PITA? Peter Bread?
No.
Sorry, Damien, it sounds like a real
I don't
PITA.
think it's
That'll be some expression that
in
I don't
the ass,
know.
Right? Pain in the ass, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I couldn't even figure it out, but I thought this must be in the ass. And then,
Yeah, there we go. Okay, got it. All right, on that bombshell, see you all soon. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.